6 a.m. story time. So when I was 3, this summer, my mom was pregnant with my little sister. I used to think I was 4. I turned 4 right before my little sister was born, which is in the end of whatever, doesn't matter. When I was 3, summertime, my 3-year-old self, I was the first one to walk in on my mom's boyfriend's suicide. I walked in, and I remember walking in, and I remember the TV being up on this TV stand, and it was a blue screen, and like the living room was dark black except for the blue screen on the TV. I remember the coffee table in front of the couch. I remember it was full of like magazines, ashtray, and I walk in and I was like, Jack, Jack, Jack. And the kitchen light was on, so I'm like walking into the kitchen, and I seen Jack sitting there at the kitchen table, but pushed back, and he was in this chair, this wooden chair, and he was like this, like with his head leaned back, and it looked like he had super long hair, like running all the way down to the floor, and there was black all around him, like as if he was Rapunzel with black hair, and his hair was, wrapped all around the floor, around the chair. And I remember being like, and going out, and my mom was getting groceries out of this van with her friend, and have a big old belly. I remember the groceries were in a paper bag, and I remember my mom being like, Mom, Jack's dead. And my mom being like, no, honey, and I'm like, Mom, Jack's dead. And she's like, no, he's not. He's probably just passed out. You know how Jack is. He just probably drank too much and he passed out. And I'm like, Mom, Jack's dead. And she's like, oh, no, honey. And then I remember her and her walking in with like 2 arms of paper bag groceries, and then just screaming, and you hear the groceries drop, and she's like, Jack's dead. And then I remember the apartment complex being lit up with the lights, you know what I mean? Not whatever, being lit up with the lights, just like flashing lights on all of the apartments. It was crazy. And it was like a warm summer evening, and my mom was getting handcuffed with her hands behind her back, and she had a big old belly. She was pretty pregnant. I mean, in my head, she had a big old belly. I don't know. It was like summertime, and my little sister was born earlier the next year, so maybe it wasn't that big. I don't know. Obviously, I was 3. But big belly, getting handcuffed behind, and I was trying to beat up the cops. I was like, no, you can't take my mom, and they're like, it's okay, sweetie, we're just gonna take her in for questioning. And I was like trying to hit him and everything, and my grandma's grabbing me and pulling me back, and she's like, Misty, stop it. And I was like, you can't take my mom. Anyways, fun time. I know all of my shit everybody goes through. I've been told that my whole life, especially by my ex-best friend and her husband. Everybody goes through it, Misty. But you want to know what? I don't think everybody does go through it, and I want to get my story out there, so I'll be posting more later. Have a good day, guys.